Hey guys, so I wanted to start off this video by actually showing you the finished look because this actually turned out so incredibly beautiful. I just sat down and put my camera up and I wasn't intending on anything really fancy. I was like, if this turns out great, I will post it. If it doesn't, whatever, it's fine. Because this was the first time using this LaPalette #2 from L'Oreal. I did a review last week on the warm toned first one, the #1, and I'm loving it. And this just went on like a freaking dream. So if you want to learn how to get this look, which is really not that difficult, it's pretty easy. There aren't a ton of steps. Every single shade that is on my eyes is from this palette. So if you want to get all of the details, keep watching and I'm gonna teach you how. Look how untouched this is. I have not gotten into these at all. I do already have my primer, my foundation, my eye base. I will list every product below in the description box, but we are going to get started on the eyes with color. And the first thing that I'm going to do is go into the crease. You guys always ask where this fluffy dual-ended brush is from. It's by Mally. It's one of the freebies that you get in a palette, but use any fluffy larger brush for your first lighter shade. If you can see the difference here, this is the MAC 217 and this is just so much larger and much fluffier. So you don't have to use the exact same brushes that I do, but use something fluffy. Okay, so for our first shade, we are gonna go in to this matte tone over here that is very cool tone gray, and we are just gonna go above the crease and lightly fluff this kind of just right outside of that crease and just lay down a little bit of color. And doing this will just help everything to blend better and look a little bit smoother. You don't have to go too heavy. You don't have to build this color up too much. You just want it to be that first transition shade that kind of peeks through everything else and makes everything else look super blended. Now that we have that first shade down, we are going to go over here into this purple shade right here. I'm grabbing it right on the tip with my MAC 217 brush. I'm knocking off the excess. And we are going to go right slightly above the crease and just lay that color down mostly in the center. So I'm starting out in the center and then fanning that color outward toward the edge over here, and same on the inner corner. And just go back with that first brush with no additional product, and you can use circular motions just to make sure that everything is blended. We are going to go one shade deeper. We're going to take that darkest purple shade, this one right here at the very end, and I am taking my Kevyn Aucoin flat eyeshadow brush. This is just a very small, precise brush, and I'm going to go right in the crease. Not using a lot of pressure here, and I'm going to focus on laying a little bit on that outer edge and a little bit on the inner. And go back in with your 217 brush and now blend those two colors together. Looks so scary right now, but I promise this will come together. Now I'm just gonna take a flat eyeshadow brush. Ooh, I found the one I was looking for. Holly frickin' Luya. I swear I was looking for this brush like all morning long and it was just sitting right in front of my face the whole time. Okay, so I am going to take my MAC 239 brush. This is just a flat shadow brush. And I'm going to grab this pale pink lilac-y matte shade right here. And we are going to pack this all over the lid. Starting in the center. And going back in with our 217 brush again and reblending that crease. The best blended makeup is when you really use all of your brushes over and over and over. So lay something down, go back, rebuff that edge. Lay something down, go back, rebuff that color, and make everything merge together without being too harsh. You want to use really light strokes. You're not trying to move the color, you're trying to just really help it blend into one another. All right, so now we're going to go underneath the brow bone, and I'm just going to take the lightest shade that has a teeny tiny bit of a sheen to it over here on the opposite end. And I'm just gonna hit right under the high point of my brow, just for a little added pop. And again, go back in and connect what's going on there together with all of what's going on in the crease and on the lid. And now we are going to line our eyes. I'm going to be taking the Eyeko, that's where I draw the line, liquid eyeliner. And I'm not going to do a huge flick. I'm just going to do kind of a tiny little teeny tiny flick at the edge. And we're going to line really close to the lash line on the inner portion of the eye and take it out a little bit thicker on the edge. And now I'm going to curl my lashes, apply mascara, and pop on some falsies. Makeup is so funny. It's one of those things where sometimes it just does not look good until the very, very end. Hang with me, especially when you're using pink tones, purple tones. It can look a little bit off unless you have the rest of the face balanced, which we don't yet. So for my under eye area, I'm just going to use Creamy Beige from LA Girl. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand and smooth it out, and grab my finger, just pick up a little bit of the product, press it in the area that I want to conceal / highlight, and then further press it in with my beauty blender. Alright, now I'm going to take Ben Nye Cameo powder. I have been trying this out and so far I really like it, especially to set the under eye. And I'm going to be taking a Zoeva concealer buffer brush. It's really dense. Not something that I would ever think would work for this, but I have been really loving pressing this powder into the under eye area with this brush for some reason. It's just working for me. It's just one of those weird things where one day I didn't have a brush handy and I was like, this'll work. And it looked really, really good. And sometimes that's the best way to figure out a makeup trick. It's just by working with what you got, and then you're like, oh hey, that looked really nice. It worked really nice. And I've been using it ever since. Now I am going to very slightly sculpt out the face. I'm going to take my Nars Ita brush and one of my Inglot sculpting powders in 504. It has more of a taupey purple undertone, which I really, really like, especially for sculpting out the cheeks, because it just creates a really nice, realistic shadow, especially on my skin tone. I have more pale skin, so if I do anything too warm toned, it just looks like an orange stripe. So this actually looks very realistic on me. And I'm not doing any heavy contouring, I'm just using powder, just a little bit, nothing major. But I just want to add a little shape to my face. And then I'm going to take whatever excess is on the brush and just go down the nose. And because I am feeling so super pale today, we are going to bronze up the face. I'm using this giant disc from It Cosmetics. I had one of these in the past. I broke it. I got a new one. And we are in love once more. And just warm the face up entirely. We're going to go back with this little guy right here, and I'm going to pick up some of that first shade that we used, the very first shade we used, which is like a purpley light taupey gray. And I'm going to make sure that I knock off a lot of that excess, starting in the center, moving to the inner corner, and then to the outer corner, and kind of meeting up on that edge right there. I do want to highlight the inner corner, so I'm actually just going to take the brush that comes in the kit itself and take that lightest shade all the way down here and just kind of sweep that right in the inner corner, just to make the light hit somewhere on this look, because it is a little bit of a darker, more smoky, rounded out look. And of course we're going to hit our lower lashes with some mascara. I'm using the Rollerlash from Benefit. I love this. I did not think that I would love this as much as I do, but I freaking love this mascara. We're going to take a neutral toned, pinky toned liner from Make It Forever. This is 2C. I am going to take a little bit of LA Pro Primer. This is an eyeshadow primer, but I like hitting it just right in the center of the lips so that when I put a gloss or a lipstick over this, it just really adds a lot of dimension. I'm then taking the Stay Glossy lip gloss from Rimmel. I don't know the shade. And last but not least, we need to blush and highlight our cheeks. Now this is something new that I am trying out, is waiting until the very end to add your blush after your lipstick and eyes are done so that you can see the appropriate amount of color that you want to use. That's a technique from Charlotte Tilbury. She likes doing that and it made sense to me, so we are trying it out. I'm taking my fan brush and I'm just going to take a little bit of this color on the cheeks. And again, wisping it towards the ear. Now that I'm done with the fan brush, I will actually take a domed brush. This is from Sonia Kashuk. You can find it at Target. I will dip the tip of the brush into the blush and then hit right on the apples, just for a little added boom of color. Just to give you that extra like blushy look, but then everything is still really blended. Now we need a little bit of highlight. So I'm taking a Smashbox fan brush and still working with this guy right here. I'm gonna take a little bit of that highlight color and we're just gonna hit right on the high points and down the bridge of the nose. And we're done. I absolutely love these eyes. They are matte and smoky and beautiful, and that was so absolutely easy to blend. I'm so impressed with these. Like, I feel like throwing confetti. Finally, there is a palette at the drugstore that's affordable. Like, honestly, it's just as good as a lot of my other really expensive palettes. I am super impressed. I'm gonna swatch this really quickly. I mean, look at that. Is that not amazing? Especially this one, and this one, which we used all three of these today. So smooth, not patchy, easy to blend. I'm gonna set my face with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. I got a little too excited. I forgot that I needed some setting spray. And my L'Oreal Infallible, which I still love and use on the daily. And I hope you enjoy this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, subscribe if you are not subscribed already, and I will see you next time. Mwah!